My family name is Anna, Sophie, Andy, and Noah.
Nice. And what do you love about your family?
Giving kisses and hugs.
Oh, that's sweet. What fun things do you like to do with your family?
Play matching games with them.
Oh. Who's your family in Florida and New Jersey?
Okay. Me and Papa.
And
Luba, Nathan, and Ariane.
and who else?
Peter.
And
then Natalie and Kate, Jacob, and Aaron.
very good.
And also, you forgot some Abby.
Abby and who else?
Abby and Wes.
And who else?
I don't know.
Do they have a doggy?
Doggy too. Family. I love them and giving kiss and they are my sweet family.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Noah. Have a good night.
Now
Sophie, say I love you.
I love you. My name is Kate.
Kate? How old are you?
7.
Are you a princess?
Yes.
You are? Princess Kate? So, Kate, I have a question for you. Did you know that Grandma and Grandpa came from Russia?
Yes.
You do? Really? How'd you find out?
Just a lot of stuff. Because Grandma and Grandpa speak Russian at their house, so, and all that stuff.
You heard them speak Russian?
Yeah, they do every time I'm there.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how else? Did anybody tell you stories about when they were in Russia?
Grandpa told me some stories sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, you like listening to those stories?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who else came from Russia?
You and Marianne.
Your daddy and Aunt Marianne? Oh, yeah? Good stuff. Are you glad that Grandma and Grandpa, your daddy, your future daddy and Marianne came over?
Yes.
You are? Yeah.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Okay. And what's your favorite thing about your grandpa?
That he grills the best burgers,
Yeah.
and then we have a pool. Me and him like to play chess. He was born in Russia. He was in the army in Russia,
Yeah.
and it was his idea to move here.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about your grandma?
That she lets you sleep over.
And what's your favorite thing about your grandma?
Me and her made slime.
You made what?
Slime.
What do you mean you made slime?
We play games.
Cool.
Well, and then we talk to a tablet.
Talk to a tablet? What does that mean?
We talk to Siri on the tablet.
Oh, like ask her stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know that your family's from Russia, right?
Yeah.
What do you know about Russia?
It's the biggest country.
True. Good. What else do you know?
It started the Soviet Union.
It started as what?
The Soviet.
Soviet Union?
Yeah, Soviet Union.
Okay. What does that mean that it was the Soviet Union?
It started with other countries, a union, and a union began a whole big country named Russia.
2019.
Yep.
And I'm Abby Liebers, daughter of Alex and Amelia Liebers.
And she's finally in the hot seat.
And I'm in the hot seat after filming for 5 or 6 years. Okay, let's go.
So what opportunities do you think you had here that you wouldn't have had there?
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, basically my whole life, right? And so, like, just the fact that, like you said, I think the education, like, and our parents always have put education first. So yeah, just the opportunity for like the schooling, all the extracurriculars I did, taking piano lessons, tennis. I did gymnastics for a long time. Like I took jazz dance for a brief period, and my parents would drive me.
I think that, I mean, I just think that the opportunities here are so tremendous compared to like what we could have had there. And I think that, like, let's just start with the fact that like I had a bat mitzvah, you know, like I was able to, like, we were able to openly practice and go to synagogue and go to services, and you know, a bat mitzvah is a celebration here, and it wasn't something that had to be hidden or you know. So I think that because of that, like, and knowing that how hard it was for them there, and like you know, didn't like us because we were Jewish and that
And the
kind of thing.
anti-Semitism,
Yeah. And knowing here that we had the freedom to be able to be whatever you wanted to be, and like we could practice freely. I think that I wouldn't say we're like super religious or anything like that, but I do think like the community of the synagogue has always been like a big part of my life growing up, and like is still big for my parents now.
Yeah, I mean, I've had basically the exact opportunities that people come to the United States for. We were able to have. So I was able to get a good education. I was able to go to college and apply to all sorts of different colleges, and you know, attend the one that I really wanted to go to and that I got into. I feel like that's stuff that people don't always get to experience. We got to take a lot of vacations. We always were able to experience things with our friends and with our family. I feel like the exact epitome of what people talk about or, you know, comment on about like the American dream, not to sound, not to sound silly about it or whatever the word is,
Cliche,
but not to sound cliche, but those were our opportunities. We got good education. I got to go to college. I had a really good job after. I was able to, fortunately my parents helped support a lot of my college education, so I wasn't in a huge debt when I got out of college. I was able to move to a new city on my own.
Being a journalist and, coming here and like the opportunity to work for like the top women's magazines in the country, and to be able to say like, I write for Oprah, I've written for Cosmo, I've written for Glamour, and, one of my goals is still to write for the New York Times, but like, particularly being in New York, I have so many opportunities with my career, and that just would never have happened in Moldova. Like, absolutely not. So, and then there's so many things I love about my life, like my boyfriend Wes, and my family and my niece and nephew. But yeah, just in terms of the opportunities, like it's just really awesome to be able to live here in particular. Just talk about like why you're proud of your parents, or you can talk about like what are you most proud of.
Okay. Oh gosh, so much. I think first the fact that they were able to do it, like that they weren't, I know they must have been so scared, but like that the fear didn't hold them back, because I think like that's probably what would have held most people back. Like, like they tell stories about how like friends couldn't talk to them once they got the permission to leave, and I think like asking for permission to leave and then leaving must have been like the scariest thing, like leaving the only thing you've ever known. Like I just think of how hard it was for me even to go to college. Like I remember when they told my parents they had to leave the dorm room, I was a mess. Like I was crying, I was so sad and upset, and then like an hour later when we went downstairs, they were still sitting on a bench waiting for me, like, and like knowing that like how scary just that little move is. Like I can't even imagine like uprooting your entire life and everything you've ever known to go unknown. Like they didn't know what to expect here, what was going to happen. Like they didn't know the language. They had like a family to support and think about, right? They had 2 little kids, and your mom was pregnant, and they had babushka, like, like everything they have to go through. It's just like, it's unbelievable. It's like so hard to even understand or wrap your arms around, like the enormity of it all, like what they did.
Yeah, well, I'm incredibly proud of them. I don't think there's enough words or ways to say thank you or show our appreciation for the sacrifices that they made so we could live here and have the experiences we've had. When I think back to, I'm older now, but when I think back to when I was in my early 20s, and to think you know, could I have uprooted my life the way they did, go to a completely different country where you don't speak the language or barely speak the language, hardly know anybody there, and just start this completely fresh life. And in Mom and Dad's experience, have basically a newborn baby almost, you know, within weeks of
later.
arriving. And so I feel like if I think back to when I was 22 and 23, like, could I have done that? Was I mature enough to do that? You know, was I brave enough to do that? And, you know, I don't know. I think maybe you get put into certain experiences, and so you do what you have to do. And in many ways, that's probably how they handled things when they came to the city, and just felt like, well, you know, we're here to give a good opportunity, and we're going to get jobs, and we're going to make it happen. And they did. And so it's pretty amazing that they were, you know, that they first made that sacrifice. And then I think the next decision about taking a job further away from where, you know, some of their family was that they knew in New York City, like Luba and Nathan, and they took the step to move upstate, which was farther away from Babushka. And so, you know, really proud of them for kind of taking that step. And then it's really amazing how little by little they just worked really hard and were able to save money, buy a house, move to the school district where we could have like the best public education in that area. You know, save enough money to help put us through college. Like, I'm incredibly proud of and thankful for all those experiences.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for moving here, and special thanks to Nathan for getting the ball rolling and getting the paperwork and really like being the one to push for this to happen, and Luba too. And yeah, I'm just so grateful that you guys came here and for everything that you did for us and provided for us. And my life will never be the same. That's for sure.
We're so appreciative of everything that they did for us. And, you know, I really, like, truly mean this, that not a day goes by that I don't appreciate it.